Oh, so over the top. Has that ever happened to you before? If you want to come more from the inside, I love this Rory McIlroy drill, late turn. He's so good at getting that hand path to go relatively straight back and really arc in as he comes down. Let's talk about how he uses his body successfully to do this. So when you look at that last swing, here's basically what happened. I used a lot of hip action at the start of the swing at a really what I would call early flat turn. And so when you turn your hips a ton at the beginning, generally that's going to suck everything to the inside on the backswing, and then you're going to get early starting down, everything's going to get out over the top on the downswing. Pretty tough to hit a shot from here. As you can just see, I think I hit that one about 15 feet. So to avoid this at all costs, let's talk about how we're going to come more from the inside. So what Rory does that's so good, he takes a great setup obviously, but then as he goes back, the first portion of the swing is going to be a little bit more of his upper body rotating back while his legs are still active. He's still putting a little pressure here, but he's not rotating a lot. And so when it's a little bit more of the lower body being still and the upper body being in motion, that's going to keep the club more in front of him. It's going to keep the club from going inside. And then once he starts to turn, when the club gets a little bit more to about halfway back, then everything arcs around. So you can see there's a lot less in and up, a lot less of like kind of that J motion, and more of just a rounded kind of natural arc that you should see on most good drives. So again, it's going to be upper and then turn, and then from here he's going to shift a little bit. So it's almost like the club goes straight back, arcs in, and then comes down. Almost the opposite type of J, like an upside down J. And so what I want you to do to try to work on this is put the club on your shoulders, and you're going to try to turn your shoulders as much as you can before moving your hips. You're going to rotate, really feel the shoulders separating from the hips. You might feel a little pressure on that trail foot, but you're really not turning a lot. And then once you can't really turn anymore, I want you then to rotate your hips. So we're gonna do that a couple times. Shoulders, hips, shoulders, hips. Now we're gonna go shoulders, hips, shift. Shoulders, hips, shift. Shoulders, hips, shift. And if you can feel that now with the club, that's going to almost automatically get you to come more inside. Let your arms kind of come along for the ride. So we're going to have a good setup. Shoulders, hips, shift. Shoulders, hips, shift. You can see so much more inside. Let's go ahead and give it a whirl here. For those of you that go way in and way outside over the top, this is going to feel like a loop. It's not really going to be. It's probably going to look just perfect. So I'm going to feel a late turn. Shoulders, hips, shift. Let's go ahead and bomb this nice, powerful inside out draw right down the middle. Shoulders, hips, shift. Love it. Absolutely crunch that one. Inside out, hit up, high launch, low spin draw. Exactly what we all want. I think it went a little bit further than that first ball. So understand, if you get an early turn back and down, you're going to tend to be inside and then over the top on the downswing. What we want is a late hip turn with a little shift. It will get you in the slot. It will get it inside. You'll be able to hit up on those drives, hitting them high, far, and straight.